Great Friday morning, everyone. How are you all doing? This is your girl, Shan. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. As you all know, my voice generally gets a little happier on Fridays, but you also know that generally from time to time, your girl, Shan, come at it with that Keep It Real Friday. And I don't know exactly what all is going to be said, but I do know that I actually have some notes on today. Yes, I do, God. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep it all the way real. I'm going to talk about a topic that I hear from both sides of the spectrum. And if the shoe fit, wear it. so anyway, of course, it's always in regards to marriage. But hey, Natasha, my question or the topic of today is, why won't you wife her? Why won't you wife her? Okay. Hey, Dalisha. So I'm just going to, drop some good old golden nuggets. You're going to have some people, like I always say, that's going to get mad. They're going to get in their feelings, but they will be okay. I'm just going to bring that truth on today. So, hey, Tasha, now we'll let y'all know this. I'm going to sound like I'm a little crazy because I'm going to be talking from both sides of the spectrum that me and my husband, hey, Didi, has heard when it came to this topic or whatever. So it may seem like I'm doing a little oil and water, some oxymoron, but hang with me, okay? So why won't you wife her? That is the question. Or let me say how they say it in the South. Why won't you make her an honest woman? That's what you hear when you're generally in the South. When, talking to a young man, you've been with a woman for a long time. She done had your kids and everything like that. Why won't you make her an honest woman? Now, I know some of the men out here, especially when they've been asked this question, is like, oh my God, here we go. A topic about bashing men. Oh no, I'm not going to be bashing men on today because y'all know that I do equal opportunity. So when I sit up and think about marriage, and I've been thinking about this since God gave me this yesterday, because this is what I wasn't going to talk about on today, but I got to be obedient. When I was sitting up thinking about this, I was like, wow, when it comes to marriage, there are actually, well, there are more, but there are two main commitments when it comes to marriage, okay? When you are down on that altar and you are exchanging vows and you looking at each other's eyes and you do all the symbolic things, change rings and everything like that, there are two type of commitments that you are doing at that time on that altar or in that courtroom, hey, Latanya, when it comes to you and your spouse saying, I do, okay? One is a spiritual commitment, and the word of God talks about it. Hey, cousin Felicia, the word of God talks about it, but a great deal of time we don't dig into the word of God because the things that we do is when we move off of emotion. So you're making a spiritual commitment, not just a spiritual commitment to your spouse. You're telling them, it would be nice if it could be translated like this, but the husband is telling her, he's like, hey, I'm not only going to be spiritually connected to you, but I'm also going to be spiritually led by God in order to learn how to love you and in order to lead our family, right? And then she in turn will say the same thing. The spiritual commitment is I am trusting you to be led by God and for God to show me how to love you, but to also go forth and leading and providing and building for our family. Now, some of this is too deep for some, and it's going to be all right. You will get it here in a minute. Hopefully, if not, you'll get it this weekend. Now, so you got the spiritual commitment, but then you also have the physical commitment. You're committing yourself to each other physically. You are in a physical form and you're committing yourselves. So why won't you wife her? Okay. If I can be honest with you, the reason why I believe a lot of males will not wife a woman is because of fear of commitment. I'm just going to be real. Y'all can put whatever else y'all think. I'm not bashing the men. On the flip side of that, why won't you wife her is because she's not ready to be wife. She's not wife material. See, a lot of times we try to make things happen that was not in the will of God in the first place. And some of you all who've been married before and different things like that, you could probably say amen to this. You tried to will yourself to make it happen. Now, a lot of the women out here are not wife material. That's why they're not being wifed. I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm just trying to tell the truth. A lot of women out here are wife material, but that man didn't realize what it was that he had. And that's why he's so quick or she's so quick. When you don't realize what you had is you go jump in another relationship because you want everybody to think, not even that you even love this individual, or maybe you've been, let me get a scenario. Maybe you've been with this young lady for 15 years. She done had your children. Baby, you're going on 18 years. These kids are walking across the stage. Y'all sitting up there like proud parents, yet you still have not wifed her. So let's say y'all break up And then you ain't wifed her, but you will go jump into a relationship and wife somebody else almost effective immediately. Have y'all ever set up and wondered, like, why is it like that? Like, this chick done supported you, she done helped you, and vice versa, because it go both ways. He done supported you, he done helped you, he done helped you, he done watch you walk across the stage with your college degree or whatever it is, and he done supported you in life, but he wasn't good enough for you to stay and accept his proposal. But soon as y'all break up, within the next 2 months, you're married to somebody else. See, that's why I say when we try to make that thing happen, we got too many women out here. You are not wife material, boo. You not. That's why we always encourage, examine yourselves. You got a whole bunch of men out here. They're not husband material. 9 times out of 10, when you look at it, there's a whole bunch of males, and I don't understand this, and I'm not knocking and judging, but this is Keep It Real Friday. There's a whole bunch of males out here. I don't understand or even fathom how you would even want a woman to take care of you. Now, maybe that's because I'm from the Midwest, as they call it. We consider ourselves the South, where I'm from. But we're not used to, not no man taking care of. And so this was something, as I was sitting up thinking about this last night, that I don't understand. I was thinking about the young lady whose boyfriend just got murdered not too long ago. Lauren London, I think is her name. Lauren somebody. Lauren. I'm just going to leave it at Lauren. I don't want to be disrespectful. And so what I noticed is that a lot of people start saying, oh, her husband. Okay. Now, I didn't watch the whole funeral, whatever. I came in and out from time to time. But when that young lady got up and spoke about him, she said, my boyfriend. Now, this is what I don't understand, and I've seen this even going to funerals. How is it that somebody is not good enough for you to give them a title in life, but soon as they pass away from this earth, then all of a sudden you want to slap a title? Yeah, that was honestly my wife, man. She was honestly my wife. Wait a minute. How is she your wife in death, but she's not your wife in life? Somebody break that down to me, okay? I got questions, and I need some answers up in here. How is it that he's not good enough to be called your husband in life, but when God take him on the glory, then he's good enough to be called your husband in death? Why is it that people do that? Oh, well, y'all know technically they was husband and wife. Cut that out. Call it what it is. No, they wasn't. Hey, Brandy, thank you so much, boo. Okay, I'm glad I was right, because I couldn't remember. But no, they wasn't husband and wife. They was boyfriend and girlfriend. They was two people that was living together. They were two people that had some kids, this and another. Now, let me go ahead and turn up the heat real quick. Now, I do understand that everybody is not the same. God did not create us to be the same, and that being unique is what makes our wonderful world. I got it. I'm just going to speak from Shan's point of view. I have never been that type of chick, because I'm really goal oriented. I've never been that type of chick that you're going to string me along. It's like, what are we doing? Now, I didn't tell Mr. King that when we first met, but I didn't pressure that man to marry me either, because real talk, I wasn't even studying him. Y'all have heard the story before. I was not even studying him. But I have never or will ever be that chick that I'm going to allow you to control my emotions as a man for you to decide when and whether you gonna be my husband. No, I'm not gonna do that. What are we doing up in here? What is the game plan? What we got going on? Because guess what? I'm Shan King. I was never this baby. I would roll solo by myself. And I remember telling my husband that when it was just me and my son. Because guess what? Hey, James and Omika, guess what? Because when you've been burnt once, honey, you ain't playing. See, usually when those red flags are built up in us because we've been through things in life, when that situation presents itself again, you can boldly speak to it. No. I'm not going to punish you for what old boy did or old girl did in my past, but this is what I'm going to tell you. I've already been down that road. That road was not nice. What are we doing here? Now, let me go ahead and give a good old country example like I like to do and stuff like that, which I think was very, what this person did was very respectful and was raised in the South, the true South, right? And so there's an individual that I was sitting down talking to or whatever in a professional setting. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't in the counseling room. So like I said, I don't want people to think I'm telling business from the counseling room. This is just somebody I was talking to at the university. And so anywho, He said when he first met his wife, they met in college. Hey, Melanie, they met in college. And when they found out that they was going to be serious or whatever the case may be, he asked her to marry him. And he was like, hey, this is what I desire to do. They had a conversation. I desire not to get married until I finish my doctorate degree. Okay? That's what I'm saying now. Hey, Miss Miko, until I finish my doctorate degree, I desire not to get married. And so he went on, he said, to tell her, because I was raised that a man is supposed to prepare and take care of his home. Hey, Keela. And so before me and you get married and we start a family together, I want to ensure that I've done the things. Hey, Mama Robinson, I have done the things to be able to set our family up for success. And so, do you agree to holding off on this marriage until I finish my doctorate degree? And she agreed. As soon as he finished the doctorate degree, they got married, okay? She was educated. He was educated. They got married. Now, see, there are too many people out here that you stringing folks along and you playing with their emotions, okay? There are too many people out here that you hoping that you living in a fairy tale one day. I hope it will happen. And see, this is what, me and my husband was talking about this, right? So I remember back in the day, and this is probably about 21 years ago and beyond, when I used to kick it with my homeboys, because y'all know I didn't do females. They was messy. I used to just kick it with dudes, and no, I wasn't a chick anyway. So when I used to kick it with my homeboys, I used to sit back and just listen to them talk. And me and my husband was just talking about this the other day. One of the things that I used to hear them say is anybody that's easy, anybody that they could run game on. Hey, Natasha, let me go ahead, put it out there. Anybody they could run game home, they weren't taking their chick back home to mama. That's what my homeboys used to say. And this was over 20 years ago. And I think it's still tried and true. But anybody that they had to work to be with, that they had to, it changed who they were in the process. That person was bringing some substance, baby, and they gave them a little bit of chase. I'm talking to my single ladies out here, okay? They gave them a little bit of chase. That's what my husband said when it came to me, but boy, I would have quit on myself. Those were the ones that they was taking home and presenting to mama and saying, mama, this is who I desire to marry. Notice I said presenting to mama. See, some of y'all understand y'all don't have good relationships with your parents, but some do. But raised in the South, there's a thing of respect. You don't just go off and marry somebody and then all of a sudden you came back and just brought them to the family, because some of y'all families be ready to set it off anyway. So I don't even know why y'all gonna do that. Not that you need your family's approval, but there is a respect when you bring someone that you are going to give your last name. Or as women, we're going to give up. Some of y'all don't, hate to each his own. I did, whatever. But I'm going to give up my family last name to go and marry this individual. There is something called respect to where you bring them to the elders in your lineage. You see what I'm saying? And say, here you go. This is who I'm, you know what I'm saying? You don't bring them in and you allow that person to do all the talking, because this is your family. You allow that young lady to be cute. You say all the things to your elders of why you want to marry this lady or whatever, and vice versa. When it come to us bringing it, but 9 times out of 10 in the true South, you got men that they're going to go and ask that male's hand in marriage, or do like my husband did. He asked my mama hand in marriage because he didn't know my daddy. You know what I'm saying? He asked for my hand in marriage, and I didn't know that 2 years later. But see, we are playing games and we playing with people's emotions. And see, I can't stand to see a young lady or a young man that they have potential and they desire to have a family and all these other things like that. But then you got the person in whom they're with to string them along and playing with their emotions. What are we doing? And you think God is proud about that? When you have a person that you done broke down so much that they've had ambitions and goals, but because you want to have some type of sick control over them. Oh, baby, yeah, we're going to get married one day, baby. Yeah, we're going to get married. Oh, well, I don't want to marry you now, but it'll be one day that I say yes. You just keep asking me. Who the heck gonna continue to keep asking you and get down on their knee to marry for rejection? Really? Why are people playing these games? Marriage is not of God. I told you, why are we sitting up here playing with marriage when that's something that is so sacred that God has created? So this is what I'm here to say, because somebody need to hear this on today. Oh my God, my face and then rest your face, Sharon, rest your face. Okay, somebody needs to hear this on today. Quit playing with people's emotions. If you don't desire to give them a title in life, let them go, because they got so much life that they can live. You see what I'm saying? If you gonna make them an honest a woman, then do that. But it trips me out when you sit up here and you've had women that I don't want to get married. It's okay. Girl, you a lie, because when y'all first got together, baby, you was already planning the marriage in your head. Don't sit up here and lie to yourself. Now you done had 3 or 4 kids with these. Well, at least all my children is by the same daddy. What? Is that an accomplishment? Oh, that's an accomplishment. I mean, hooray for you that's a fact. But because guess what? I had one. And we weren't serious about this thing. Oh no, I kept it right on pushing. And even when I met Mr. King, I said, it's all about my child. It ain't about these reindeer games. So at the end of the day, hey Kevin, you have a lot of wives out here. The reason why you ain't been wife to boo is because you are not wife material. You are not carrying yourself as such. Some may say, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing as a wife. Well, the Bible is a good place to start. Hey, start with that Proverbs 31 woman, because that heifer was cold. You hear me? She was all the way cold. So start with her. Start in the New Testament where it talks about how a wife should be. Heck, nowadays you can Google it. You know what I'm saying? And it tells you, according to the scriptures, what a wife is supposed to be. Sir, if you're not willing to make her a whole honest woman just because she done had your children, good morning, Toya, just because she done had your children, that doesn't mean that you set up her, oh, I got home locked. Because see, let me tell you what some of the homies used to do, some of the homeboys, and it used to irritate me, and I lost all kind of respect. When you sitting up here and you telling her, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry you one day, I'm gonna make you my queen, or I don't even need to marry you and make you my queen, but you telling your homeboys a totally different story. Man, I ain't gonna marry her, man. I'm cool where we at, man. She ain't gonna pressure me. What's the difference? What is the difference? Is it commitment? Is the commitment that you're not willing to make when it comes to God? Is it the commitment that you're not willing to make when it comes to her? Baby, I don't know about y'all, but I'm proud to be married. I thank God for the ups and downs that me and Mr. King has been through. But ultimately, I thank God for the commitment that that man made to me. When he said the things that he said, he meant that. And you have too many people out here that you're not willing to commit to nothing. Heck, you can't even commit to a job. Okay, let me go over my list and see if it was anything else that I missed or whatever when it came to this. Yes, commitment issues, fears, because those are some of the things when I was asking God, why are people not willing to commit in marriage? Fears, let me see, responsibilities. You don't want that spiritual responsibility, nor do you want that physical responsibility. You want to get physical with that person. You want to have sex with them, but you don't, want to, And then, like I said, commitment issues. And that's probably because you've seen that growing up. But who's to say that you can't be man or woman enough to make that change? When me and my husband sit down and we really start having some conversation about the upbringing, not that we're down in it in any way, we wanted it to be better for the family that we were building. Before we start building our family, we wanted it to be better than what we had. When he told me some of the things he didn't like in his childhood, and I told him some of the things I didn't like in my childhood, we committed to each other to making that thing better. And some of you all who are married, you still ain't committed to each other. And then you set up here on one side of your mouth, you're praying to God for him to bless your marriage. But then in the other side, you doing A, B, C, and D, and E that you ain't got no business doing. You still ain't fully committed to your spouse, but you wonder why your marriage is not prospering, okay? Because you put a ring on somebody who wasn't ready to be a wife. You accepted a proposal on somebody who wasn't ready to be a husband. And so now let me go ahead and break it down and make it plain before I get ready to bounce up out of here for the weekend. The reason why I'm sounding like oil and water and everything is at the end of the day, in order for you to be able to get through this confusion of what it sounds like of this video today, this is one way and then it's that way, is you got to have God. You got to allow God to order your steps. You know what I'm saying? God, is this person wife material? She's doing all the right things. She's cooking, she's dressing appropriately, she's cleaning, God, but is she wife material? And then on the other side for us young ladies, God, am I supposed to accept this proposal from him? Because he's saying all the right things and it look good on the outside, but God, I don't want to move forward until you tell me to move. See, some of us are swan diving in the deep end of the pool that's 12 feet deep and you can't even swim. Yes, if someone's to ask me, Shan, if somebody was to say, Shan, let me ask you a quick question. Was you ready to be a wife at the age of 20? No. It wasn't that I was ready to be a wife. I was not. I did not know how to be a wife, and no one taught me how to be a wife. But let me tell you one thing that I was holding on to. Thank God, me being the oldest of 5 children, I had plenty of experience about how to clean house, how to cook, how to take care of somebody else and nurture somebody else. So I came with experience. And some of y'all have come with that same experience, but you don't realize your worth and you don't realize who you are. You see what I'm saying? You don't realize what you're bringing into the marriage. One thing that I did know is that I desired to have a family of my own. I desired to have a family with somebody who was amazing. I prayed. You heard me? After I had my son, 18 years old, I prayed, God, please send me who you have for me at the age of 18. You see what I'm saying? But until then, God, I'm going to be steadfast and I'm going to handle my business. I'm going to take care of my son. That's what I'm going to do. We're not praying. We're not praying. What we do is we jump into the deep end of the pool. We start drowning in a situation that we call marriage, which truly ain't marriage because God didn't tell you to marry or accept that proposal in the first place. And then we want to sit up here and blame everybody else and we want to blame God. You can look at a person and tell if they are wifey material. And I hate to say wifey, but wife. You can look at a person and tell if they husband material. You know the standards in which you have within yourself. You know how you were raised. You know what your mother and your father and your grandfather and your grandmother sold into you. You have that in you. But it kills me to see a person who you had all these great intentions, and good morning, Cousin Kim, and you had all these great intentions and potential, but you lose it because you end up marrying the wrong person. You lose who you are. You lose yourself. You don't end up marrying somebody that's going to motivate you to do better. You end up marrying somebody who they like got to shine over yours, and they're not too mature to realize that no, when you come together as one, it's not an individual light that shine. It's a unified light that shine. And that's why a lot of marriages are not prospering, because there's too many individuals in marriage. Okay. It's too many. I can't let my wife look better than me. I can't let my husband look better than me. What? Are you serious? The two become one. That's what the word of God says. And see, that's why you can look at those couples that are doing it, okay? Because they are allowing God to bring them together as one, keep them together as one. And even with the flaws, they don't go in on each other. So, have you ever wondered, and some of us try to get in other people's business too. Well, why you ain't made an honest woman? I used to like to hear the old heads say that. They used to say that to the young men. So you don't have too many old heads saying that no more, that it's imparting wisdom into these knucklehead young men. No, you don't, because the old heads trying to be young heads. Be your age, at your age, and sow into. Just like the word of God says for the women. We are supposed to sow into the younger women. How many of y'all doing that? No, you're not doing that because you're too busy trying to be 20 again because you felt like you got something that happened and you didn't have your early 20s. You too busy. No, it ain't time for Stella got to groove back. It's time for Stella to set her tail down and impart some wisdom. You can't impart wisdom unless you start walking wise, okay? And God have to impart that into you. You have to grow. So, to me, and I ain't trying to knock nobody. Don't be sitting up here bragging about, oh, I got this and No, baby. The ultimate is if you are in a relationship, go ahead and make that person an honest person. You see what I'm saying? You can brag, oh, yeah, the reason why I ain't getting married and I'm just living with my old lady for 25 years is because ain't nobody gonna tie me down and ball and chain. So why are you playing married then? Why won't you just stay by yourself? If it's a commitment issue, young lady, why are you allowing yourself to just be and so when he go out and he cheat on you, then he don't feel bad because guess what? He didn't put no ring on your finger, but you sitting up here getting mad because you're supposed to be mine. Girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, he ain't got no commitment to you, boo. So he's free to do whatever he want to under the law. You know what I'm saying? Of God, because he hasn't committed to be the head of your household. But see, somebody don't want to hear this on today because we want to continue to live with these facades that the world is putting before people. I don't care what nobody say. But to me, marriage is honorable. It is honorable before God because God is the one who created marriage. So you can sit up here and play like you married all you want to, and you even bought a doggone ring, put a little ring, but you ain't made no verbal commitment before God and before the people who are a witness, hey, Rodney, you ain't made no verbal commitment. So, baby, don't be sitting up here bashing on the ones who are married, the ones who are trying to get through them ups and downs, the ones who is actually making it, the ones who are pressing toward the call. You know what I'm saying? Pressing forward of what God has for them. So, baby, if this is you out here shacking, and I ain't trying to talk about you or whatever, and y'all gonna think I'm bashing, but I'm not. If you out here shacking and you living like you married, baby, I ain't gotta live like I'm married because I'm married and my husband put a ring on it. Hey, Chandra, I don't have to guess and make him commit to giving me a title because he did when he put a ring on it and he was spiritually before God. You see what I'm saying? And not only was he spiritually connected before God and committed before God, then he did that as well and he committed to me. And when he made that commitment over 20 years ago, he's held strong to that commitment. So for my single ladies out there and single dudes out there, don't be expecting commitment on the same level of individuals who are married when you're not willing to commit to the union called marriage, okay? You can get mad all you want to. Your friends can be whispering in your ear, girl, you ain't got to be married, girl. You could just girl, you looking all the way crazy, baby. I don't know about y'all, but Shan has never been a waster of time. You hear me? I've always wanted my time to count. So me sitting up here with a guy and I done had his whole family and I done supported him in his dreams and then it been a whole 10, 15. Yeah, we been together for 18 years. Shan would be embarrassed to tell somebody I done been with them for 18 years and they ain't made me their wife. Okay? I'm not waiting no 18 years. I don't even think I'm waiting 2 or 3. We got to have a mission, a goal, and a plan. And what did you say we was going to do? Oh, okay, because, baby, I keep you to that plan because that's how I am. That's what we committed to each other verbally. Let's make it happen. So, like I always say, I don't know who this was for on today, but I hope and pray that you got blessed out of what was said. I hope some mindsets are being shifted on today. I hope you realize that planned marriage is not worth it, but actually committing yourself before God to one another on a spiritual level and a physical level, that's when that worth come in. Because that's just like, before I get ready to go, I'm using an example. That's just like your money, okay? You can put your money in a bank, and when you put it in the bank, interest is drawn on it. You see what I'm saying? Interest is given back to you. It's accumulated. Interest is accumulated on the money that you put in the bank, and you get a little bit. But when you have money and you just stick it in the wall, you stick it under the mattress, baby, there is no interest that's being accumulated on it. Does that make sense? And it went over some people's head. Hey, Heather, some people don't get it. Okay? So when you are married and you say I do and you working at that thing, you're going to have some interest that's going to be accumulated on that marriage. But when you sitting up here and you playing married, that's just like sticking your little bit of money that you have in the wall or sticking it under the mattress like they used to do back in the day. You're not going to get no interest that's accumulated. You think you are in your mind, but you playing yourself. So y'all have a blessed weekend. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. Share this because it's free. Y'all enjoy your weekend with your family, with your boo. If y'all got date night and everything like that, your girl Shannon will be back to y'all on Monday. Well, whatever it is that God placed on my heart. So God bless you and blessings to you.